Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds. It's Wednesday, and we now know who the managers of the year are in Major League Baseball. Are you surprised?
I am angered.
He came in hot this morning. Why are you pissed off?
Well, the American League Manager of the Year is Stephen Vogt of the Cleveland Guardians. And sure, they had a great year, made the playoffs and so forth, didn't make the World Series. That doesn't make any difference. It's what you did in the regular season. Wait a minute. Regular season? Didn't the Kansas City Royals go from 106 losses to the playoffs in 1 year, and their manager, Matt Quatraro, does not get the Manager of the Year award? What kind of heresy is this? He is certainly deserving of it and should have gotten it. Quatraro takes a team, get this, Mike, 106 losses, and the next year you're in the playoffs. What a tremendous turnaround, and what a great job of managing the team. But he gets second place. Well, second place is just that, second place. You didn't win it. Stephen Vogt of the Cleveland Guardians is the winner. National League, yeah, Pat Murphy of Milwaukee does deserve the award. He takes a team in which Craig Counsell had been the manager, and Counsell leaves it to take over the Chicago Cubs. Well, the Brewers go on to win, and he did a great job. So did Mike Shildt of the San Diego Padres. He finishes in second place in the National League West behind the Dodgers, but he's in the playoffs. Again, playoff, what you did in the playoffs doesn't count. But regular season, Mike Shildt should have had stronger consideration than what he did. But the real insult is in the American League, in my opinion. That should have gone to Quatraro.
You and I don't agree all the time, but on this we do agree in both things. I think Shildt should have definitely got it. I was upset, of course, because I'm a Royals fan, and I became a Royals fan the year that they lost 100-plus games. So I've been very familiar with what those guys have done in just a year's time. And like I said all season long, it was just fun to watch that team. Even though I didn't know half the dudes on it, I had a great time this year watching baseball, and they kind of got me to like the regular season again. So props to them. You know what? It's just a bunch of stupid stuff anyway, and I guarantee you they're more focused on what they're going to do come spring training. So congratulations to every manager in the consideration, and we'll get them next year, man. So obviously there's been a lot of talk about the Paul-Tyson fight. Now, the validity of it, we all know the deal about there. But what I want to know is, do a lot of people show up to watch this?
Well, they had 70,000 at AT&T Stadium. That was the announced crowd. But across the country, across the world, for this matter, Netflix has to be dancing in the aisles. 108 million folks watch the international telecast. And it's national and international, the same thing. And that is the highest streamed sporting event in history. Highest stream, 108 million. And this is a bogus fight.
Let me ask you a question real quick. Of those 108 million, how many actually had a streaming that worked for the entire time?
None.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like you guys are counting 108 million of people that were literally having to restart Netflix over and over and over again.
And that is my next sentence. Of the 108 million, how many of them were pissed?
Oh, yeah.
107 million of them.
I'm one of them.
Well, over and above that, though, 108 million. This is, and of course, the telecast, as everyone knows, had great problems. The event itself, bogus. It's 2 rounds, guys wearing lighter gloves. One is 58 years old, the other's 27, and people, what on earth? What are we doing? Where's our sense of, well, anyway, we get into the sociological aspect of it a little bit later. But, if that happens Christmas Day...
Oh, they screwed that Chiefs game up. Man, not only you can have the Kingdom, but you're going to have a bunch of Steelers fans on your butt. Netflix.
This Chiefs-Steelers game, folks, on Christmas Day is on Netflix. You damn well better not miss that.
Everyone, just FYI, you're actually currently listening to the station where you'll be able to listen to the game. So if you can't watch it on Netflix and stream it with us at the same time, just listen to us. Don't worry about it.
This is where it is right here. This is it. This is your focal point right here on the Cave.
So it's interesting, and you mentioned back to the fight. Not only were the gloves and the age difference, but the ring size is a huge difference because you've got a guy who's 27, running back, running around. He's got all this room to move, and that's another big deal. Also, I've seen some replays, and Tyson could have definitely taken shots on him that he wasn't taking. And so it just, you know what? Mike Tyson was able to triple his worth overnight by doing this, I guarantee you he's happy, and that's all that matters. Except for all of us who didn't get to actually watch the thing. Major changes in college football championship rankings on the board.
Well, it's pretty much the same as it has been and will until this week when there are some major events coming up. Oregon's number 1, and these are the official rankings, folks. This is the official national championship rankings. Oregon 1, Ohio State, Penn State, Texas, and as of now, those 4 teams will get byes in the first round. Indiana's number 5. Indiana plays Ohio State this week in Columbus. Look for some big changes there. Notre Dame 6, Alabama, Miami, Ole Miss, Georgia, Tennessee, and Boise State are the final 2 teams as of now in the playoff picture. That may very well change. And where's Missouri? They're number 23 of the top 25 teams. They are number 23. They lost their game to South Carolina. How can this be? But anyway, that's the way they are voted. And they are the top 12 teams as of right now. Now, that will change. There are, let's see, this was number 3. So 3 more of these rankings to go. The final one will be December 8th, I believe it is.
So Bears and Lady Bears both on the court yesterday. How'd they do?
Bears won their game last night at the Great Southern Bank Arena, 78-68 over Texas Arlington. It's one of the most physical games this reporter's seen. The officials allowed them to play physical basketball. By physical, Mike, there's a technique in ice hockey called body checking, and it's perfectly allowed. Well, they were body checking on the basketball court, and I guess the officials said, we'll let them play tonight. My God, they were constant bumping and pushing and carrying on. The reason I bring that up is because that's where the Bears won the game, from the foul line. 29 of 34 from the foul line. Texas Arlington was 13 of 19. When you look at the numbers, Texas Arlington was 52% from the field. The Bears 38%, and they won the game? Whoa, they won it from the foul line is where they won it, and that counts. 78-68 Bears win. Lady Bears did not win. First loss of the year, first win of the year for Tennessee Martin. It's a ladies' game over in Martin, Tennessee. It was played late yesterday morning for the kids in school and so forth and so on. And Tennessee Martin never trailed. Beat the Lady Bears 74-66. That's a big win for them. So you get a win and a loss on the basketball courts last night, and much, much more holiday action coming up.
So Chiefs obviously off a loss in Buffalo, still on the road, still on the East Coast, this time in Carolina against the Panthers. How are the odds going into this game?
It's huge for Kansas City. This is a Bank of America ballpark where they are playing in Charlotte. That's the home of the Charlotte Panthers, or Carolina Panthers as they're called. The Chiefs are an 11-point favorite. Carolina's weak, folks. They don't have a whole lot of leadership on their ball club. They only have 3 wins on the year. But, and just say this advisedly, they are a pro football team. These are professional athletes, and stranger things have happened. I don't think it will this time. I think the Chiefs come rallying back and win it big. I think they escaped the game in Buffalo without any serious injuries, although they do go back on the practice field today, and this is where you'll get a more definitive assessment. But over and above that, Kansas City will go to Carolina as an 11-point pick and should win that game, which, of course, will be heard right here.
Yes, and that's a noon game, a very rare noon game. So Ned Talk starts at 10. And on that note, with some of these players inching back into getting healthy, this might be a good game for a lot of these guys to get some training ground. Almost look at it as a, hopefully they can look at it as a preseason game going into it. But again, like you said, it's professional sports. You never can tell. Any surprises in college basketball as far as the nation is concerned?
Not really huge. Kansas won easily over North Carolina Wilmington, 84-66. Kansas State won, beat Mississippi Valley State. The big upset, if you can call it that, 2 nationally ranked teams, Marquette and Purdue, playing each other. Purdue is ranked 6th in America. They lose to Marquette and lose big, 76-58. Kentucky got an easy win over Lipscomb out of Nashville, Tennessee. And here's one that's kind of sobering in a way. Ohio State played Evansville from the Missouri Valley Conference. Evansville has struggled in past years, but this is a team with a great tradition. Ohio State beat them 80-30 last night. That adds up to about 50 points.
Yeah.
That's not very close.
No. Not at all. And neither of us did really well in college algebra. Ned, you have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.